Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. It's Monday morning, we've got blue sky, and I said I'd go round the garden. Now my original plan with the garden was to just do a walk around update type thing at the beginning of each month as the sort of year progresses. That was the idea. But because I planted some plants donated by Carole, there's a need to show those, so I'm doing this update a bit early, I suppose you could say, and I'm hoping to follow the same path as I did last time. There should be an info card coming up now, which will be the last update that I did at the beginning of April, so you can watch that one first if you like, and then if you carry on watching this one you'll see the progress that's been made, if you want to do that. Where are you off to? Down the dark alley. Right, so coming round here then, this bush has greened up quite a bit since the last we looked, and that's good because I want this to be quite a dense bush hanging out so that it stops the view from the garden down that dark alleyway, which is not very nice at all. So before we leave this area, some plants have been put in this bit. Now the Lenten rose or hellebores, they've been put here simply because this area never gets direct sun. The sun never gets to this bit. So they've gone in here, split up a little bit so that hopefully they'll spread into this whole area. I'll get rid of this pot sometime because I inherited that. And then we've got some primroses in this bit here. And then next to those we've got some of the fritillaries, obviously out of bloom, and a lot of these plants will die back as the year progresses to reappear again next year. That's the theory anyway. Then up in here we've got some more of the fritillaries, and we've got a foxglove. And then we've got some more fritillaries, followed by some of the Spanish bluebells and another foxglove. So that's the sort of bit along the back there. I've also, these bonsai are here because I don't want them in the sun at the moment. They've recently been repotted, so that's why they're here. Now this bush is doing something it didn't do last year. It's covered in black flowers. Now I did not expect that. Now I don't know whether these are appealing to bees or anything like that. The trouble is the sun doesn't get to this bit until late afternoon, and most flowers need to be in the sun to attract the bees. So we shall see what happens with that. And then coming in here we've got some more clumps of fritillaries. Down here we've got, I put the hybrid primroses in there because they're in like a little self-contained area, so I didn't want them, I was going to say contaminating, I didn't want them getting cross-pollinated with the true primroses, so they can form their own nice little purple clump there. Then we've got some more primroses here near the edge. This rose has come on leaps and bounds since we last looked, and the fuchsia has another tree tangled up with it, which I think is an alder, but as you can see, last time we looked the fuchsia was only just showing above ground, whereas I thought it was dead. Those shoots are now pushing on. There's another foxglove in there next to the stinging nettle, which stays. There's some butterflies that come to the garden that may lay their eggs on the stinging nettles. Their caterpillars eat the stinging nettles. Some more of the Spanish bluebells there, kept well away from the English ones. Then what else have we got? We've got another foxglove tucked up in there. See, foxgloves should self-seed, so they should form more. And I can't remember what those are. Anyway, planted stuff. Is this one? I can't see flowers on this one. It's a similar bush to the one that had the black flowers on. It may well flower, who knows. And then this bush is showing a lot of growth. This has white blooms in the autumn. Down here we've got an evergreen plant of some sort, and then here we've got the Californian lilac, which is going to be in bloom soon, and the bees love that. Now this bonsai is here because I wanted to get some sun but not too much. Oh, you want to go in? Come on then, which means I've got to go and open the other door. You are a nuisance, aren't you? Go on then. Right. I'm just putting the camera down. So although this is a little embarrassing, I'm still in my dressing gown because I'm going up to have a soak in the bath to see if I can get my knees and my back working. So I haven't actually got dressed yet. And it comes undone if I walk around. We don't want to walk around the garden with our dressing gown undone, do we? Right, where do we get to? This rose is greening up nicely as well. Then across the gap, the Hebes have shown no sign of life. I think they're dead. I'm going to have to stand back now because my Acer is looking really good now. That's leafed out marvellously. So looking good there. And we'll see if we can get past this corner successfully without having to take a break. The camellia has got some blooms on. This spiky bush is starting to green up a bit. And this is the special corner where we've got some primroses, some violets, some more primroses and some more primroses. We've got some snowdrops and some of the English bluebells. They look wilted at the moment, they've been disturbed, but the bulbs should be okay and they should come up next year. So that's that little corner. This is progressing. Last time we looked at it, these buds on the old wood were just showing as little green bumps. They're starting to grow now. So this should fill out quite nicely and turn into a nice green. And then up in this corner, I put somewhere up in there, sure I did, somewhere up in there is a tiny little clump of primroses that may actually take off. I can't see them at the moment, perhaps some leaves have gone over the top of them. Anyway, this other laurel is also starting to get the green bumps on the old wood, and the bush that's behind the laurel is starting to get leaves, which means it might be able to be identified soon. I've got a feeling it's a mock orange, but I don't really know, so that's the best guess. And then if I stand back and point the camera at the wisteria, you'll see that it's an absolute mass of buds. Now this is really strange because on Ed's orchids his wisteria's out and he's in the north of England and I'm in the much milder south of England and mine's still in bud, but that's going to be a marvellous show when those blooms come out. That'll be in the next video, no doubt. Right, where do we get to? Some of the bonsai stuff has been rearranged. This buddleia needs a good hack, because apparently if you leave the old wood to sprout out, the blooms that it produces don't have much fragrance or nectar for the bees. It produces much better blooms with more nectar if they get hard pruned at this time of year and left to grow on. Now what I thought was a foxglove in there is a foxglove. So that's confirmed. So the bonsai have been thinned out a bit and spread around. The rosemary's looking nice. Bees are attracted to that, but again, only when the sun's on it, which is afternoon time. Got a few of the bonsai out on the table now. The Deshojo's leafed up really nicely. That's looking good. And I have to keep at this. You have to keep looking for pairs of leaves with a shoot in between them, and the shoot in between has to be pinched off, and that way you force the joint of the two leaves behind to produce their buds and start to grow, and that way you get much tighter growth and much smaller leaves. So I have to keep at that. This is my birthday tree. We're going to have a good look at that soon and do some work on it. Big decision to be made on that, but that'll be on the bonsai channel. And then over here, in this little shady spot, we've got some more of the fritillaries, some snowdrops and some English bluebells. Hopefully those bluebells are going to fill that corner with the primroses at the front. So there's some snowdrops down there as well, but those were already there. So bamboo looks a bit tatty at the moment. I'm hoping that'll start growing again this year. That suffered in the drought last year in that really long hot spell. And then I've made use of some of my black tables I got last year just to get some trees moved to spread them out a bit so they get more light all round. So I've got my nice Scots pine tree here, and then this little thing that I got last year, which was a bush from a garden centre, and I did some work on it and turned it into a little mini bonsai. Right, and that's about it really. As I said, it's a matter of looking round at what I planted, where I've sort of put it, and what I hope from those new plants that have gone in the garden. And we'll see how we do. I know not everybody's interested in the garden, but some are. There will never be loads of garden videos, but I thought an update once a month, just to walk around like I've done now, is enough to keep people interested, those that are interested satisfied, if you see what I mean, and those that are not interested, it doesn't interrupt the normal stuff. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this morning walk, and see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.